Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So allow me to say a few things about um, business continuity and crisis management. It is very, very important to understand this very sensitive topic and give you some, let's say, basic guidelines in you as a physical security manager, as a manager, as a person from the private security industry, what exactly you can do in order to make a proper a procedure and a proper um, business continuity and crisis management to the company organization you are working. So first of all, I want you to think that when we design such measures, you have to think, first of all, um, if there are some special reasons to do it. And the answer is very easy. Yes, there are, except that possible risks are always there. You know, somebody left smoke a cigarette while it was prohibited or not, and is through a not well, you know, extinguished, let's say, leftover from the cigarette. We threw it to a bin with papers inside and stuff, and the person left. This worked a little bit, and a few minutes after, you have a fire. This fire didn't noticed by anyone until it was too late. And when the fire brigade arrived, everything was burned and destroyed. What you do? Next day, there is no business anymore. There is no company. Everybody goes to vacations until they rebuild everything from scratch. You know, in these cases, if I ask you now, okay, how much time you need if I tell you tomorrow morning you have to move from your home, go to another home, and let's say it's a piece of cake to find a place to move, which is not a piece of cake. It's very hard. It takes months and months to do that and find the right place. Not a place, but the right place for you to live. Imagine for a business to operate again. How many different um, issues we have to resolve: size, geographical position, laws. Um, because, for example, the ceiling maybe is too low, and the law says it should be higher. You know, and many, many other things, countless. Huh? Imagine now when, if this happened to a business, and the business had all details, clients, accounting, banking, financing, and um, um, production, everything to be locally to the place which is now completely burned and in ashes and burned to the ground. What did happen? Can you imagine how will affect something like this to a company which is not prepared? I can tell you how much. Bankruptcy. It is possible that that day, the company, when it burned, to be the last day this company operated. The last day. Because if somebody says, okay, we have insurance will do what to you? Insurance will give you money. You can use the money to buy new computers. What happened with the data? How you will recover them? The hard disks are completely melted. How you will recover the data? You had the paper backups, which is also burned. Okay? How? So every serious company that respects itself, definitely they have a backup in the cloud or in another server, or I don't know where. They have a backup for the data. Data today is one of the most important things a company has, because replacing invoicing in papers, in replacing the papers, replacing the um, archives. In the past, archives, also archives for the tax authority and so on, that you are obligated to keep. It was warehouses for some companies. Do you imagine how many copies from invoices Coca-Cola had to keep in hard copy in order to prove to tax authority for the expenses they had and everything, to whom they issued the invoices and so on before the computers? Okay, this now is replaced by hard disks. In some occasions, the government forces you to keep also papers, the original papers. But in the case of a disaster or fire, nobody will ask you what happened with the paper. If you have the data in electronic form, it's very easy to ask the issuers to reissue their invoice, to reissue a copy of their invoice, a duplicate. It is possible. But if you don't have an electronic form, how you will find out who were the suppliers, what the amounts, and so on? You have to call one by one the suppliers and say, listen, how many, please send me all invoices you sent me the last 5 years. Print them out, they send them to me, or I don't know what else. Send them to my email, I don't know. This is a mission impossible. Okay, so did I convince you that every serious company must have a business continuity and crisis management in place? I think I did. I think I did. So, in order somebody like you to contribute positively in their company, you have to do one thing only. You have to create the first pillar of um, crisis management and business continuity. The first pillar is to manage to get the commitment of the senior management of your company, of the owner, of the CEO, president, board of directors. I don't know who you have, the decision makers, the senior management. You have to convince them. It's not hard, as long as you, one, find out what it happens. What will happen if a fire destroys everything tomorrow? What will happen if the company found out that one of the accountants is corrupted and they kicked him out in one day? Will they be able to trace and find out all atrocities a person did in order to trace and find what he stole from the company? Or is just locally everything and he can delete, he can do everything the person wants, for example? Okay, so you have to convince the senior management, um, and then when they are convinced and they want their company and themselves to be protected, then you just built it the first pillar. Okay, immediately after is to create a team uh, with a green light and the approval of the senior management, of course, because in order to have crisis management and business continuity, it's not possible to do it magically. It's not, I have this knowledge. So I go there, I make everything, and then I go back to my job. It's okay. It's a day or two or a week. I say what to do, they do it, and we're done. It has to be created. A dedicated team, a team of specialists who will get a good salary because they are specialists who will do only this, nothing else. You're not able to take, for example, the IT guy you have there and works to make the cloud storage and then to go back or to be an outsourcing. And so you are not able. IT, one guy, special guy, very well trained, very well educated, who knows how to protect the data, how to store, how to archive, what to do, how to set up an entire network from the beginning, an entire server from scratch, from zero. He must have all this knowledge and be this guy, a part of the team that will be there working only for this. Because it's not only to create it, it's also to maintain it in order whenever you need it, this to be available. Hmm? From the basics of IT, this is, I'm sorry, I have a message. I will be with you immediately. I apologize. I replied. So, in the IT, for example, we have something is called CIA, which is not, of course, the intelligence service, but it is the confidentiality, integrity, availability. Okay, this CIA. The third letter is the availability. How to be available, the specific um, um, system for business continuity in the case of a crisis. If there is no maintenance, if the data are not updated, and you're not able to do all these things only automatically. You have to make updates, you have to check, bugs can create it, problems can create it. You need a team that will be the crisis management team. And the role, it will be crisis management and business continuity. And as I said, it should be a team. And I will come back again to the creation of the team, but let me go to the third pillar, which is the employee contribution by making known to the entire company that the company now holds in place a business continuity system plan, that they are a part of it. Because in order to have updated information and to have a mode, you know, in your company that will keep all this in place and will be ready to reoperate in the case of a disaster, um, you should make this aware to the people who make their works in order to be prepared also for such a situation. It means, for example, you have somebody who works in the company, and between the job of this person is, except to do the job, to update, for example, company's archive. Yeah? So if the person finished the job and the today's job must update it, um, if the person knows that is responsible also the data on the server to be updated, the update will not make it next morning while he's drinking coffee. Will make it will 30 minutes before the day is over, we'll put all the data of the day to the server, because maybe when the person is gone to have a fire, and then next day is impossible, the data from the previous day to be updated, because data will not be there anymore. And if the person didn't update it, then it will not be possible to update. And all this data of the day, a specific day, will be lost. You understand? So you have to have in this system the entire company. And it's not only issues of the data, it's many more, many, many more. When you put a team, when you put a worker in a mode and mood to understand how terrible will be for the specific worker to start from scratch, rebuild everything and so on, how terrible and how tiredful this it will be, you make the specific person also like an auditor of the system. Whenever the person sees something wrong, sees somebody who threw the cigarette to the bin, will say, hey, take your cigarette from there, and so and so. Do you understand? If the people realize by working on it, because everybody now, they are aware, because you make it aware, and you make aware what exactly it will happen in the case of we have to go to recovery, then the people will be 10 times more careful. Okay? So think that, let me go back to what I said about the team. To this team, I'm not able to tell you which kind of experts you will need, because this depends which company you work. You have to have in your mind one thing, that those people, they have to, when they work, they have to protect or reproduce the functions of the entire company. Okay? So let me give you an example. Okay? Let's say you work in a pizzeria. Okay? I'm not saying you work for Amazon, which is a very hard thing. I can tell you also, but let's say you work in a pizzeria. And in a pizzeria, you have times of peak of the job. You have times that somebody there who answers the phones receives 10, 20 orders per, or even more, 50 orders per hour. Imagine now that um, you take when somebody calls and say, I want a pizza with pepperoni and so on. So the person write it in a paper and put this in a paper in a line in order to make one after the other one, okay? The pizzas. So, and because in the pizzeria they have in the oven a naked fire, they make a mistake and they take a fire, okay? And all the papers around burned. Not the entire pizzeria, the papers only. Who called? Somebody called. The person gave you the name. But there are 50 people who called within the last hour only. And it's not only immediate orders, there are also orders that you, in 3 hours, bring me 20 pizzas, for example. Okay? But let me put something different now. The fire, it happened again. It's woof, and all the papers took fire. They extinguished it, no problem. Pizza, it's okay. The dough is there, the materials, no problem. Only the order is burned that was next to the oven. Imagine now, the specific pizzeria didn't use this system, but use system through a computer. It means when a person has a special, the person who answers the phone has a special screen in front of the person with buttons. You don't write, you press buttons only. It's a button for the pizza, it's a button for double cheese, it's a button for a margarita pizza, and then you have specials. You have the pizzas here, all the pizzas, and then on the right you have extra cheese, then extra bacon, extra. Okay, so the person presses buttons, doesn't write 1 hour. Okay, and this system have call recognition, so automatically the system knows who make this order, and the entire system is to the cloud. What it means is to the cloud. It means when the order comes and you press enter, this is not only locally, but it's also transferred to a cloud you pay service to keep your data there. So it happens a fire and, sorry, it happens a fire and what it burns is the papers there, but didn't burn the entire pizzeria, so the computer is still there. What damage pizzeria number 1 with the papers will have, and what damage pizzeria number 2 that is organized will have. Okay? What service pizzeria with a system that makes automatic recognition, and when the client calls, the person answers and says, Pizzeria, I don't know, the fresh cheese. Good morning, Mr. Smith. Good evening. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. What pizza would you like to have today? How good the client will feel that recognized him, and you greet the person with the name, and you make the client feel is a family. Okay? So what you have with a good organization is not only protection or crisis management, but it's also a very good service for the client. The pizzeria. But this thing can happen in all the business we have. And I give you another example. You have 20 workers in one company, and you don't have any system like this, I say, because the system like this, I say, will record everything. And if you record everything, you will record also who works, who doesn't work. You will find all this data. So if you find this data and you evaluate them and you raise the salary without the worker to ask it, because you have the control, you have this crisis management and business continuity thing in place. And because of this, you have statistics also now, because you have everything in the computer, everything in archives, but you have also statistics. It's very easy. It's just a program after that. It's nothing. There are CRM systems that you pay nearly nothing. I don't know, 100 per month for a company is nothing. You understand? So I'm just saying. And how good it will be for the worker to see that what the person did, it's recognized. How bad it is for other good workers that they see they have the same salary with a useless one. In some cases, even lower, because the company gives bonuses and rises the salary to those that are more comfortable and more polite and more friendly with the bosses, instead to give to more productive people. Then what it happens, you make the productive people to stop being productive. So there are many ways to convince the senior management that you need this system, and there are many benefits you can have from this. So by this saying, keep in mind that except the business continuity and crisis management, you can also add to this productivity control, statistics, and so on, quality in the service provision. You can put more things, because when you're organized in this way, you can use technology, what technology offers you in order to be better to your job, to provide better service, to have better relationship and more productivity with your staff and so on. Okay? Think that we are not in the best times, ever. We have wars in many countries, serious conflicts. Can I give you an example of a crisis, of a crisis, and understand how many companies, I will not say anything to you, but I want you to think how many companies were unprepared for something like this, and how many companies bankrupted even because of this. This is COVID, is coronavirus, is a pandemic that is still active actually, but not so deadly anymore. Okay? So think about it. How many companies were prepared to work remotely? Huh? How many? And we're talking even for software companies, for companies that if the worker or the employee is on the office or at home, can offer the same service. If, for example, we'll have somebody and this somebody answers emails, this is the job of the person. These emails can answer them from home as well. It's not a problem, but you have to have this option. You have to be able to have this option. Do you understand? And the policy. You have to be able and to be flexible to make a new policy. Because companies' emails, usually you're not able to take them from your personal computer and from your home, or when you are abroad, you have to go to the office to take them only, because access to the specific accounts have only the desktop computers that they are connected through cable and through the Ethernet network with the server of the company. They don't give an option remotely for somebody to be able to take them, because this gives vulnerabilities. If you are able to get it remotely, hackers will be able to get it remotely as well. Okay? I'm just saying. Not that hackers are not able to take them to take access while they are remotely, but they're away from the server. They can, but not all, at least not all hackers. Okay, only the strong ones. So this, generally speaking, I wanted to say this is yeah. You have to consider we're living in not um, I say not in good times. We have political issues. We have wars, civil wars. We have inflation that can create serious problems. And even we have chances for World War III. Okay, we have many possible issues. We have online radicalization. By the way, we didn't talk about it. What do you know about online radicalization? Be aware. It is very easy to manipulate you online. Stop answering to posts you see in internet and makes you angry. Stop putting your opinion. Okay? Stop doing it. If you are really a security manager, if you are really a professional of the security business, control your anger, control your feelings, and don't make any post. I can give you a tip for that I follow. Write what you have to write. Okay? And you can write a very big answer, very big answer. You can be there 3 hours before you submit it. change subject. If you are in a video in YouTube, for example, open a new window and go to another video and watching it. After 1 hour, go back. If you still have the willing to submit it, do it. But before you do it, think. This message will be there forever, forever. Plus, many times these messages are from bots in order to see how the people react, and the information together with the video you saw it makes you frustrated, angry, or I don't know what, to be fake. Fake. In the past, and I have to find this video, I posted a reply in the chat room that somebody here, imagine, it was with ISOSEC and stuff. Somebody replied, not replied, posted a video that shows a person who was in a shop in America that they were selling, this camouflage stuff for how you say carnival, how you call it this period, Halloween, and masks, and so and so. And they had also some electromechanical scarecrows and stuff to make you scare, make some movements and so on. And this video was showing a person who was going closely to see somebody, because he thought this somebody, it wasn't a doll, it wasn't something fake, but it was moving. So it went closely, and then it was a person, and then it scared the person. And but make a prank, and they had a camera there and so on. And the person fall in the floor and start shaking like he had, a medical condition because of this. So the video was showing that after that, an ambulance, the person in the ambulance, and then it shows that was running with, inside in the hospital to take the person to the operation room. And then after that, they saw a family crying on a graveyard and so on. And they said, look, this person died because of what it happens. So be aware, stop making pranks and so on. This video was fake. How it was fake? Somebody connected ambulance hospital graveyard to the half video of what we saw. What was the half video? It shows a person that falls in the floor and hit like a fish in the floor, was shaking. But 1 second after, the person in the real video stopped shaking, stand up, because everybody was shocked. They got scared, because of the prank. They saw the person to have a medical condition. And he stand up and say, ha ha, I got you. You pranked me and I pranked you. So this wasn't, nothing happened to the person. It wasn't a real medical condition, just pretended had a shock and it was shaking in the floor and so on. Okay? If you see the comments, and not in a social media, it was just a chat room. If you see the comments, you will be shocked. People get so angry. The person, the bastard, have to go to prison and so and so for a fake video. So be careful. Don't state your opinion, because this is a part of your personal profiling. And be sure this will not be good for your career as security manager or a security professional. They will not forgive it from you to have this kind of statements while you are in this profession. In this profession, you have to teach your clients, you have to teach your bosses, you have to teach the ones you protect or you direct to not believe whatever they see, because in most of the cases are fake. Okay? So plus, um, they create your profiling and they can see where you belong, what you believe, and so on. And even in the future, to make fake news. And one day you wake up in prison. Okay? It's very easy in this world. Somebody to call you a criminal. Very easy. And you have to know something, dear friends. In this world, it is very easy to prove something you are, but very, very hard to prove something you are not. If, for example, I say, you, no, sorry, myself, I have a white horse, then I can take my camera. If you don't believe me, go outside, put my camera, record or show you live the white horse I have. It's a proof. I can tell you, come here to see it. You come, you see it, it's a proof. So I can convince you for something I have or for something I am or I'm doing by showing it to you. I can prove it to you. How I can prove to you something I don't do, something which I'm not what I am. What I am, I can prove it easily. What I'm not, how I can prove it to you? How can prove I don't have a white horse? How? By showing you outside with my camera. And if I don't have it outside and I have it in the back room, if I ask the neighbor, let me put it to your land because I have a video, I don't want to see the horse, you know? Or if I don't have it here, I just have it in another place, in my summer house, I don't know where. Do you understand? I'm not able to prove I don't have a white horse. While it's very easy for me to prove what I have. So if somebody accuses you, you are a bad person. You're not able to prove you are not a bad person. You will be able to prove only if you are a bad person. So I am a bad person because I hit this person. I hit that person. Go and ask them. It's a proof. How you can prove you are not a bad person? That's why I'm telling you, be careful what you post in social media, the image you put outside for yourself, for your company, and so on, because you never know a negatively influenced person about you, how can use whatever you said, whatever you noted against you, and then one day you to be fired from your job, lose your job, your family to be destroyed, to be even in prison. This, as a friendly advice, have nothing to do with the crisis management. Okay? To whoever see this video. So thank you for your time to listen to this video. I hope I wasn't very boring, and I hope this to be kind of um, productive for you.